let me show you how to install, level, and secure an island to the floor. For now, I'm going to show you how to do a single-sided island like you see here. Then we'll look at a double-sided island. When installing islands, we have two goals. We need to level the island, plus we need to fasten the island to the floor so that it doesn't move around. We're going to accomplish that using a couple of 2x4s just behind the toe kicks on the two outside corner cabinets. Okay, let's do it. First, build your cabinet runs by fastening your cabinets together, both front and rear, just like every other cabinet in the kitchen. Then, set your cabinets exactly where you want them to be installed. Next, we're going to draw a short line on the floor where the toe kicks meet the floor, just on the two outside cabinets where we're going to put the 2x4s. Then, move the cabinets out of the way. And we're going to set two 6-inch long, approximately 6-inch long 2x4s just behind the line you drew, the same thickness as the toe kicks. For example, if your toe kick's 3/4 of an inch thick, you'll set the 2x4s back about 3/4 of an inch behind the line that we drew. Now, fasten the 2x4s to the floor using some 3-inch wood screws or Tapcons if you're installing on tile or concrete. Carefully pick up the island cabinets and set them over the 2x4s, and we're ready to level. Since using a laser level without a wall is very difficult, whenever I'm doing islands or peninsulas, I always grab a scrap sheet of drywall or even some plywood, and I'll just stand it up on end behind the cabinets and have someone hold it. Turn on the laser and level up your cabinets just like you would any other cabinets using the Easy Level system. And once your island is perfectly level, then you simply screw through the toe kick subpanels into the 2x4s. Now when you install your toe kicks, you're done. Now let's look at double-sided islands. There are really two ways to tackle these types of islands, right side up and upside down. I typically build my islands upside down, and here's why. The rails on your cabinets are not always perfectly level. The side rails, the front rails, rear rails, some of those rails vary as much as 1/8 of an inch up or down. Well, since our granite requires a level surface to rest on, we need to eliminate the high spots. The easiest way to do that is to build your island upside down. Now the way I do it, if I have a really smooth floor, we can do it right there, but that's not usually the case. So I pick up a piece of sand ply from the local box stores. That's just a super smooth plywood used usually for building furniture. And I'll turn all my cabinets upside down on that plywood, position them into place, clamp them, screw them together. I'll mount my levelers, and then I'll turn the whole island right side up and go ahead and level it up like any other cabinet. Now, not all cabinets are like this, so check your rails out and see if they're nice and flush. And if they're not, this step will make your leveling 100 times easier. Now, if you want to install your cabinets right side up, let me show you how it's done. You build your cabinet runs just like any other run in the kitchen. Usually your runs will consist of a front side and a rear side, two separate runs. Then I'll go ahead and laser level my front side, just like before, using a scrap sheet of plywood. Now for the back side of the island, typically you're using cabinets that are less depth, like 12 inches deep like you see here. And for those cabinets, we just use a single leveler in front because there's really no need for a rear leveler. Now, of course, if you tried to raise it up all by itself, it would just tilt backwards. But because we're up against the back side of this island, when you raise up that front leveler, all the cabinets are just going to slide straight up until you find level. Now, simply screw both sides of the island together. And just as we did before, don't forget your mounting blocks to make sure that your island stays put for a long, long time. Typically, no matter how big the island is, I typically put a mounting block on the far left and on the far right. If it's secured into the floor, that's all you need. A little 6-inch, maybe an 8-inch block on both sides of the island, and you're done.